Hey there, beer fans. We got a head-to-head tasting today of two similar Galaxy forward IPAs. We got Resilience's Combover. Resilience is an offshoot of Schilling, and they have just started sending cans to the Boston area. I highly recommend picking up any of their beers. I've reviewed a bunch of them, they're good. And then, of course, Galaxy 4 Point, one of the most highly rated pale ales in the world, but it's really an IPA. It's 6.5%. It's 6.6%, and it's super hop forward. This one is 7%, a little bit stronger, and this was canned 12 days after this one. This was canned on January 10th, but that's pretty close. They're also both, you know, I guess this is well under a week. This is right now only 3 days old, and this is, can I add, 15 days old, but I mean, they're both crazy fresh, so I think this should be fair. So the thing about this one is that it uses Galaxy and Big Secret. This uses Galaxy and Columbus, but Big Secret's pretty similar, and this one, the Columbus hops are only a little bit for bittering, like they do with all 4 points. I don't know what the malt bill is for Combover. I know this one uses the old Trillium trick of throwing in some white wheat and some sugar, dextrins, and a teeny bit of caramel malt. I'm not sure about Resilience though. So I have reviewed both of these before, but it's been a long time since I reviewed Galaxy 4 Point, so I guess I'll start with that one. And I did have a can of this the day after it was released, and I found it to be extremely good. Like, this is one of their most highly rated beers, but this batch just seems perfect. You can look at that, and it has a really nice head, really good haze, very pale, not the palest hazy beer I've seen, but it looks very, very nice. And just an explosive Galaxy aroma. It's amazing that this isn't like double dry hopped or something. They make it on such a big scale now. But I've only had really good batches of Galaxy 4 Point, and it kind of seems like it's depends on my mood whether I give it like a really high score, 4.5, or 4.25 or something. But I would say that this should be 4.5 plus this batch. I really like it. Yeah, has a really nice body. Like, I had it after I had a double IPA from Trillium, the True New Englander, which is like a special first ever batch. And then I had this, and I thought this is more potent with the hops, more body, even though it's much lower alcohol content, and softer and smoother on the tongue. Yeah, that's a fantastic one. So we got Trillium in the Mystic glass here. And then I'm gonna do Resilience in the Treehouse glass. Let's see how they compare. So this one's been sitting in my fridge for a while, so maybe some of the haze is falling yet. It does not look quite as hazy as the Trillium. Otherwise, really similar. The head looks really similar too. It's got a mixture of big and small bubbles, kind of soapy, maybe a hair. Maybe it's just like a hair paler than the Trillium, but it could also just be because the haze is settled a teeny bit. Oh yeah, so this is way fruitier. I mean, it might be in part because of the Big Secret hops, but I think it's how they brew with this and their yeast strain. Like, I'm getting interesting like strawberry aromas. This is sweeter and fruitier, I would say, than the Galaxy 4 Point, which is just that big unripe kiwi, green eucalyptus, dank quality that you get, almost like green pepper from the amazing Australian hops. But yeah, maybe it is Big Secret. I do like Big Secret a lot too. Maybe the Big Secret throws in these berry notes. It's not as dank. It's got more ripe fruits. It's got more like mango. Yeah, it's in a little bit, it's more like a fruit cup sort of thing. Yeah, I think it's might just be a bit bigger on the yeast esters, bringing out some candy-like notes. I'm getting like strawberry hard candies, Jolly Ranchers, and it has a little bit of greenness, but after drinking the Trillium one, it's like, whoa, not that green. The Trillium is super duper fresh too, but I have noticed that like, their Galaxy beers seem to stay quite green, and not like green like too young, like a lot of people say. It's just green, and but they have a lot of green qualities, like I mentioned. Yeah. But it's interesting going back and forth between these because they are really, really similar. The Trillium, yeah, it seems like it has a good amount of body, but it's a little bit spritzier in the carbonation and the feel. Whereas I would say the Resilience is a little bit fuller. It doesn't finish with as much of a like carbonic bite to it. And you can see that the heads are pretty similar. This one has got more lingering soapy bubbles. And they both have a pretty good bitterness for hazy IPAs. I've noticed that these Australian hops tend to make beers seem a little bit higher ABV and a little bit higher IBU, just because of the qualities, the green qualities they have, and the herbaceous qualities. I always get eucalyptus from these beers. Let's maybe try to see if I can get a little bit more haze out of this one. No, maybe a teeny bit, but the Trillium one is getting close to opaque, and the Resilience, not quite. But I kind of might like the Resilience a bit more because it has just a more complex flavors. There seem to be a little bit more estery, yeast, fruity stuff going on in the Combover. That's just making it a more rounded experience. I'm really enjoying the berry notes. And some stone fruit stuff going on in there. But then you get plenty of that spicy green stuff happening in the flavor, whereas the Trillium has something really different in the smell. Maybe because it's ultra fresh and some of the volatile hop compounds are still in there that haven't kind of faded yet. But it's got kind of a minerally smell, but also kind of a freshly baked birthday cake sort of thing, almost vanilla, that I notice in a lot of these hazy beers that I really like. And that quality kind of softens the herbaceous spiciness in that. But I mean, with this one, it still has some of that too, the Resilience. It's definitely just a little bit fruitier, but it's not so yeast estery that it's getting towards Belgian character with like big bubblegum or banana esters or anything too spicy or phenolic. Like, I can't choose between these. I would probably have to give them both a 4.5 plus. Maybe I do 4.5. I don't know. I'm just gonna say 4.5 plus for both of them. They're both awesome beers. Go grab them. They're both available in the Boston area right now, and they're probably my favorite Galaxy Forward hoppy beers in general, because I like these ones that aren't super strong double IPAs. I love things between, 6.5 to 7.2. That's where I think it's the best place to showcase hops, is that strength. Well, I'm rambling, so I'm gonna go. Bye.